G'day mate, welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another Euro 2024 fantasy video. So in this video, we're going to be going through the best players from Portugal, France, the Netherlands and Turkiye. So if you haven't seen my video already where I go through Spain, Germany, England and Switzerland, definitely go check that out now. I'll try and tag it somewhere up here in the video and you can go check that out first or go check it out after this one. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. Smash a like as well in this video if you do end up liking it. Before we do that, obviously I've just mentioned that I have done Spain, Germany, England and Switzerland, but now the quarterfinals have been confirmed and it is going to be Portugal, France, the Netherlands, Turkiye, and I wanted to pick basically the three top players that you should be bringing in or you should be owning from these countries. Obviously, I think it kind of depends on who you think will go through. So definitely take that into consideration. But if you are looking for an overall who are the best players, then this is probably the perfect video for you. Even if you do fancy a certain team to go through, I think these are still the best players that you should be going for. And maybe consider some of the other options. Even if you, I guess, don't think that team is going through, they could still end up getting a goal, etc. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game. Where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top. Guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
So Portugal have some really good options, and I know it is a tough game against France, but they did put up a good solid defensive display against Slovakia in the round of 16. They kept a clean sheet, and first of all I wanted to talk about the hero of the game, the player of the match, the guy that did save loads of penalties in the shootout, and it is Diego Costa. He managed to keep a clean sheet over 120 minutes, which is impressive. And obviously he did get player of the match because he was heroic in that penalty shootout. He comes in at 5 million and he's kept 2 clean sheets this tournament so far. One in Matchday 2 against Turkiye and one against Slovenia in the round of 16. So for me at 5 million, I think he is a great option to go for. And France, although they are one of the strongest teams in the tournament, they haven't really been performing this tournament. In terms of goals from open play, they haven't scored any that by themselves. They've all been own goals from open play, and obviously Mbappe did get a penalty, but that obviously doesn't count as open play. So I do think the Portuguese defence is a good idea to go for, and to be honest, I think this game will be a tight game anyway, so even French defenders are good to go for, I feel like. That's why I've also gone for Pepe. He's 5 million as well, and obviously he doesn't get the sort of save points that Diego Costa does, but he does get a lot of interceptions and ball recoveries, so I think that's one of the key reasons to bring him in. In terms of match day 1, he got 8, ended up on 2 points, extra points. In match day 2, he got a clean sheet and 9 ball recoveries, an extra 3 points for the ball recoveries. He got rested in match day 3. In the round of 16, he got a clean sheet, 13 ball recoveries, so an extra 4 points. So very good in terms of ball recoveries, and we know he's a threat from set pieces, and I think he's about 39 as well, but he's obviously still got it, he's still performing, and he's going to be key if Portugal do end up going through to the semi-finals. Next up, I have got a midfielder in. I don't love it, to be totally honest with you, and especially at that price point, but I do think he's the best attacking option for Portugal. Comes in at 9 million, and it is Bruno Fernandes. He's only got 1 goal this tournament, which is a little bit disappointing, and it was an open goal that Ronaldo kind of slotted it in for him. But if Portugal again are going to do well and are going to score any goal in this game against France, then I think Bruno Fernandes will be a part of that. I know a lot of people potentially are going for Ronaldo, but yeah, for me, I just don't really trust Ronaldo. I don't think he gives enough personally. I do think Bruno Fernandes is actually a bigger attacking threat, and it's been shown already this tournament where he's got a goal and Ronaldo hasn't. Anyway, overall, I do think Portugal are going to find it tough to get through, but I think defensively, this game is going to be kind of the battle of the defences. I think they're both really strong defensively. I think they both really, I guess, struggle to score goals. So I'd be going defenders over attackers for Portugal, but if you did want to get one in, I think Bruno Fernandes is probably the best one to go for. So France, first up, we're going to talk about Jules Koundé and what a round of 16 game he had. This is not reactionary, as I do think he was a good option before that, but now we've seen how attacking he can actually be, and his interceptions are ridiculous. I think he is probably the best defender to go for from France. He's ended up on 30 points so far in this tournament. 9 points first game with 9 ball recoveries, 6 points second game with a clean sheet as well. 7 ball recoveries in match day 3, 4 points, and then the last game he got a clean sheet, 7 ball recoveries, and player of the match. He should have actually got an assist, but it doesn't actually count in UEFA's game where he crossed it in, and obviously the Tongan scored an own goal. But for me, well, if it wasn't, I guess, counting as an own goal, he wouldn't have got an assist. He would have got an assist, but obviously the player hit it, and then it hit the Tongan off and went in the goal. So didn't count as an assist, but it basically was an assist. But for 5 million, I think he's an incredible player to go for. I think France defensively have looked very, very good this tournament. The only time they conceded was against Poland, and other than that, they've kept 3 clean sheets. So for me, it is going to be solid, and I think this game is going to be a low-scoring game. So I think a France defender is a good idea to go for. Next up, I want to talk about N'Golo Kante. So started off the tournament incredibly well. He got player of the match in the first 2 games. You could argue that it's dipped a bit, but I don't think it has. I just think they've been tougher games for France. They obviously drew with Poland, and they only won 1-0 against Belgium. But I think N'Golo Kante in these massive knockout games is going to be key to France. In match day 1, he got player of the match, 9 ball recoveries. Match day 2, player of the match as well. And then match day 3 and 4, didn't get that many ball recoveries. But I think for 6 million, if you are looking for a player around that price point, I think he can be a nice option to go for. And he is pretty differential. He's only 10% owned, and people are not going to be looking at defensive midfielders. But I think in these tight games, and I think it will be a tight game, I think a defender or a defensive midfielder could come out on top. And I think Kante has we've shown it in this tournament, he has the ability to be player of the match. And for me, I think for 6 million, he is a good player to go for. Next up, obviously boring. If there was another, I guess, France sort of attacker or even midfielder to go for, then I probably will go for them. But for me, it is going to be Kylian Mbappe. He's the only player to score a goal for France. The other 2 goals have come as own goals. Obviously, it was only a penalty, but yeah, for me, I think if they're going to go through and do well in this tournament, I think Mbappe is going to have to start delivering. And to be honest, he hasn't actually looked bad. I think he's just been a bit unlucky with obviously the nose break, and with France not really creating that much. But for 11 million, I don't think there are many other premium options to go for. So I think it kind of just leaves it down to Mbappe. And like I said, if France are going to go far in this tournament and they're going to go to the semis and potentially the final, they're going to need Mbappe to step up. Obviously, he's on pens as well. And for me, he's one of the best players in the world. So just own him. Yeah, other than that, I think the safe bet is to go defensively for France and maybe even double up on the defence. But I think Kante can be an additional player to put in if you do need someone around that 6 million mark. And then I think Mbappe is a must-have. I know he hasn't delivered this tournament, 1 goal, 1 assist, but for me, like I said, if France are going to get through, he's going to have an extra potential, an extra half an hour to score if it does go to extra time like Portugal's last game did. Then I think Mbappe's the player to go for. So now the Netherlands, and again, they had a really, really good performance against Romania in the round of 16. They played really, really well, and their attacking threat actually looked so good, where I haven't really seen that at any other point in the tournament. And they kept a clean sheet as well, which is what we kind of all expected going into the tournament. The defence was very, very solid. We saw the likes of Van Dijk, De Ligt, Ake, Van der Ven, but it's not them that I'm going for. It is De Vrij, a player that I think a lot of people have slept on so far. I bought him in for the round of 16, and I'm so happy I did. He's on 22 points in total so far this tournament. He kept 9 ball recoveries, and he obviously got a clean sheet in the round of 16, ended up on 9 points, which was incredible for me when a lot of people did go for players like Van Dijk, who only ended up on 7 points. And I'm going for De Vrij again. I think 5 million is an absolute bargain. 1 million cheaper than Van Dijk, 0.5 million cheaper than Ake. And for me, I do think De Vrij can, I guess, combat the attacking threat potentially of Ake and Van Dijk just by his ball recoveries alone. And at that price, I think he's a no-brainer. Simons is, for me, a player that is a bit of a risk. He actually didn't, well, he actually didn't really perform in the earlier stage of the tournament, and he was coming off quite early. 62 minutes first game, 73 minutes second game, 55 minutes third game, and then he did play full 90 minutes in the round of 16, and that's where he did perform. He got an assist, but he should have got a goal, should have got another assist, to be totally honest with you. And I think he started to grow into the tournament, and I think this game against Turkiye could be a good one for him. And he's only 7 million. I think the fact that he's on a lot of set pieces, along with Depay as well. Depay probably takes more of them, but he still takes a few. And I think with the Netherlands attacking display they showed in the round of 16 against Romania, and the fact that Turkey are not an overly defensive team, I think Simons can be a really, really nice player to go for. Also, Gakpo's in there, and what a tournament Cody Gakpo has had. He's on 30 points, 7.5 million. He's on 3 goals as well, so 1 assist. He's had an incredible tournament, and it's funny that he does so well in international tournaments. I remember him in the World Cup before Liverpool did buy him. He was so good there, and I think he's just different level when he's playing off the left and he's cutting in and shooting. He got a goal outside the box, player of the match in the first game, blanked in the second game, a goal in the third game, and then a goal and an assist and player of the match in the match day 4 in the round of 16. And for me, yeah, I think he's a must own going into the quarterfinal. He's only 7.5 million, and the Netherlands are probably a stronger team than Turkiye. Obviously, anything can happen, but you've got to fancy the Netherlands to go through, especially their performance against Romania and the form that Gakpo is on. Overall, I think Gakpo is essential, to be totally honest with you. I think if you don't own Gakpo, get him in. And I think a Netherlands defender is essential, just because of the side of the draw they're on. Like I said, they've got Turkiye, and then after that, they'll be playing England or Switzerland. If Switzerland do end up going through, then they'll probably be the favourites against them as well. So for me, I think load up on Dutch players. I think definitely a defender, De Vrij and Gakpo, and then maybe go for a double defence or Xavi, Simons, and yeah. So that's what I reckon on Netherlands. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and let's go on to the next team. So Turkiye did end up beating Austria, who won the group of death in the group stage. They obviously won France and Netherlands group, but Turkey did end up beating them 2-1. And obviously, if it weren't for that great save from their goalkeeper at the last minute of the game, then they probably wouldn't have made it through, but they did. And they've got Demiriel, his name is, I think, to thank for that. A player that didn't start matchday 1 or matchday 2, but came in matchday 3, got a goal, got 4 ball recoveries for an extra point, and then in the last game, the round of 16, he started, got a goal, conceded, obviously that's 0 points, and then 2 goals scored, 10 ball recoveries and player of the match. He ended up on 20 points. And for 4.5 million, I know I did say the Netherlands are probably the best team, but if you did think Turkey were going to win, I think the fact that he's just scored 2 goals, he's only 4.5 million, is probably a good idea to go for him. Having said that though, Turkey's defence this tournament hasn't been great. Conceded against Georgia, conceded 3 against Portugal, conceded against Czechia, and conceded against Austria. So I wouldn't be getting him for the clean sheets, but he's shown he can score goals from defence, and for me, I do really like him at that price point. Another player I do really like is Gula. So he does play for Real Madrid. He is one of the up-and-coming young talents at the moment, and he's only 5.9 million now. He obviously started the tournament very, very well. Goal scored, 3 ball recoveries, goal from outside the box, player of the match, and then had a slight dip in match day 2. Obviously, he didn't start that game. He only came in for 20 minutes. And then again, he blanked in the Czechia game, played for 75 minutes. But in that Austria game, he got an assist and he was incredible. If it wasn't for the other guy, if it wasn't for the defender, Demiriel, scoring 2 goals, I think Gula would have probably got player of the match. And for me, you've got to be looking at these players that have played well. Just because they didn't get player of the match in that game, it doesn't mean they can't get it in the future game. And I think, like I said, I've said this for many players, but if Turkey are going to go through, Gula has to turn up. And for me, he's shown this tournament that he has turned up when he's started games. And yeah, Turkey look actually very, very good going forward. And Gula is a main part of that. So if you are looking for someone under 6 million, I think he's the one to go for. And he's exciting as well. Like, sometimes when you're playing these fantasy games, you can get caught up on picking, I guess, the boring option, but you want to be excited by the players you're watching, the players in your team, and Gula's going to give you that. So definitely bring him in if you're going to be watching the game and you're going to be wanting Turkey to win. Next up is Hakan Çalhanoğlu, so a player I did recommend at the start of the tournament. He hasn't really performed, to be totally honest with you, and he was suspended for the round of 16, so he's only ended up playing 3 games, but he's got a goal in them 3 games, so he's still, I would say, delivered. But he's back now. He's had a rest. He's 6.5 million. He's going to be on all set pieces. He's a set piece specialist. Yeah, he scored some incredible goals from set pieces. My only worry is he does play a little bit defensively, I think, for Turkey, where normally he's probably seen to play as number 10, but now they've got some more attacking threat. He does play a bit defensively, but like I said, he still scored a goal. He's on all set pieces. He's got 10 ball recoveries over the tournament, so he can still get that from a defensive position. And I do really like him as an option. If I was having to pick, I'd probably go for Gula just for the excitement, and I probably would skip the Turkey defender. But again, if you do think Turkey are going to win, I think go for him. Other than that, though, I do think Gula is a nice option to go for. Very exciting. Going to be potentially one of the best players in the world at one stage. He's still at Real Madrid, so he's got a chance to Real Madrid. So yeah, he hasn't really played for them, but in the future, you can definitely see him playing for Real Madrid. And what a player he is! And again, like I said, if you are playing this game, it's a bit of fun. You're going to want a player that's exciting, that will get you off your seat. And I think Gula is the one to go for out of Turkiye. If you like this video, please smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and leave a comment below what you think of these options. Are you going for any of them that I've spoken about? If not, let me know below. If you are, let me know below. And good luck for the match day.